And I walked out of there after that conversation just going like, all right. And I just almost felt like giving it up. Hi there, it's Kevin Ward, the founder of Yes Masters Real Estate Success Training, helping you get more yeses and more successes in your business and in your life. And this video is about your life. This is not something you do in real estate. This is something you do when you're having a life. And I think we all deserve more yeses in our life. And recently I was talking to a guy that I have a lot of respect for, and he was telling me why I should not get a boat. And for those of you that know me or have been around me for a while, you know one of my dreams is to own a sailing yacht. I love sailing. I'm just passionate about it. I love being on the water. I love sailing. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. And nobody else in my family ever sailed. We never had a big sailboat. I have had a couple of my own, and that's just one of my dreams. I want a really luxury sailboat. And this guy spent 15 minutes telling me why I shouldn't do it, and it didn't make sense financially. It was not a good move. It didn't make sense. Money's a yacht is a money hole, a money pit, and all that. And I can remember feeling as he's talking to me, I felt my countenance falling, and it was like, ah. And I walked out of there after that conversation just going like, all right. And I just almost felt like giving it up. Just like, okay, I'm gonna give it up. And then I thought to myself, wait a second. It's almost like that moment when you kind of snap out of that moment where you almost lost it. You snap out of it and go, wait a minute, this is my dream. I didn't choose this dream because it makes sense financially or because it's a good investment. I chose it because it's something I'm passionate about. It's something I want. And I almost did something that I've done many, many times in my life, and that is I almost allowed something to cause me to settle. And I want to challenge you today, never, never, never settle. Now, we've all heard that. We all heard never settle, and yet we all settle at times. And I really believe that there are times it's okay to settle, and then there's other times when it's not okay to settle. So how do you know? What's the difference? When is it okay to settle for less or settle for something, and when is it not okay? And I really think there are 3 times that it's not okay to settle. Number 1, I believe you should never settle because something is harder than you expected it to be. That sometimes things are just hard. And we make a commitment, or we have a goal, or we have a dream, or we have an aspiration, and we go for it, and we go like we hit some obstacles, we hit a brick wall that stops us, and we're like, okay, maybe it wasn't. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. And we settle because it was harder than we thought. And my challenge is, don't think because something's harder than you thought that means maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be easy. So never settle because something's harder than you thought. If it's something that's important, if it's something that matters, never settle because it's taken longer than you thought it was going to take, or it's more difficult, or it's more painful, or it's more, you had to deal with more things you don't enjoy. If it's something that matters, never settle. Number 2, never settle because of someone else's opinions or expectations. I think one of the greatest causes of people settling is they don't want to get disapproval from someone else. They want to please their parents, or they want to please a mentor, they want to please their significant other, and they settle for things that really leaves a hole in their heart because they're worried about what other people are going to say or think. Now, I'm not saying that there's not times to adjust in your life, but what I am saying is never settle because you're trying to please other people. The greatest way to live a life of regret, or to be able to look back on your life with regret, is when you make decisions about your life trying to please other people or always measure up to their expectations. Never settle to please someone else. And then number 3, the 3rd time never to settle is when it's your dream. Look, when it's your dream, if it matters to you, never settle. It may take you years longer than you thought. It may be a lot longer of a journey than you thought. It may be a lot more difficult. But if it's worth having, if it's important to you, never sell yourself short. Never settle. I know one thing for sure. Have I ever made a decision and pushed through and got something and regretted it? Well, I may have looked at it and go like, okay, if I'd have known what I know now, I probably wouldn't have bought that, or I probably wouldn't have done that. But I didn't look at it and go like, I should have settled. One thing you will never regret is you'll never regret that you didn't settle. So don't. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, comment, put your comments, your questions below, play to win, and always expect yes.